Hello there. Everybody keeps saying things need to move quickly for a post-Brexit trade deal and that things are doable. But the bottom line is that means one side has to blink first. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. And check out our new satirical YouTube channel, Central Broadcast UK. Link in the descriptions box below. We're now on the brink of something with Brexit. Either a no deal or a sellout. Once again, we hear pronouncements about the need to get moving to get a Brexit trade deal, about how much time we have to do it in, and the fact that everyone agrees that an agreement is doable. But then comes the usual red lines of fisheries, level playing fields and the Irish Border Protocol. And with the Foreign Minister of the Irish Republic, Simon Coveney, saying that we are in trouble unless there is a significant breakthrough in the next 10 days, the EU has been casting about for a way to break British resolve. And they may think that they now have that leverage, with the press saying Joe Biden will be in the White House directing an EU and Irish Republican-friendly Brexit, as well as the unceremonious dumping of Dominic Cummings and his Vote Leave team into the Downing Street gutter. Then there's the EU-friendly House of Lords wading in with its rejection by 433 votes to 165 of the clauses in the UK Internal Market Bill that has upset an EU intent on using the Irish Border Protocol to twist the UK government arm. More heartening news for the European Union negotiator Michel Barnier and his team. And now we also have Simon Coveney saying that unless those clauses are removed, then the EU is unlikely to sign up to any trade deal with the UK. Here's what Coveney said to Sky News. Even if we do get a new trade deal negotiated by both sides, if the British government is determined to continue with their internal market bill, to reintroduce parts of that bill that were removed by the House of Lords this week, then I think it is a deal that won't be ratified by the EU, because there is no way the EU will agree to ratify a new agreement if the British government is breaking the existing agreement that is not even 12 months old, and breaking international law by doing that. And as well as adding his voice to those saying that a deal was doable, he also said, "We really have to try and find a way of coming up with a compromise on fish that both sides can live with, and we need to try and dial down the language on this because it is very easy to become emotive." But this has already been rejected this morning by the UK Environment Secretary George Eustace, who told Sky's Sophie Ridge, "We will be putting those measures back. They are very important," referring to the Internal Market Bill clauses. And all the while, Boris Johnson has now turned his government into a 3D administration. The 3Ds: dystopian, directionless and disconnected. Dystopian in the way he runs the Number 10 operation. Directionless in that we don't now know where Boris is steering the great ship of state. And disconnected because, despite having contracted COVID so recently, and as he puts it, he's bursting with antibodies, he's forced to self-isolate because he was contacted by Test and Trace over meeting with fellow MPs, one of whom tested positive. In a Twitter video, the PM said, "Hi folks, the good news is that NHS Test and Trace is working ever more efficiently, but the bad news is that they've pinged me, and I've got to self-isolate because someone I was in contact with a few days ago has developed COVID. It doesn't matter that we were all doing social distancing. It doesn't matter that I'm fit as a butcher's dog, feel great, so many people do in my circumstances. And actually, it doesn't matter that I've had the disease and I'm bursting with antibodies. We've got to interrupt the spread of the disease, and one of the ways we can do that now is by self-isolating for 14 days when contacted by test and trace. Ticking all those all-important pandemic boxes for the public message, while making himself least accessible to questioning over Dominic Cummings, Brexit and Carrie Symonds. Talk about isolated. How very convenient, just when he's meant to be laying out his government's new direction. Or is that now Carrie's job? Maybe he needs to just take a test himself. Anyway, Michel Barnier's now given a veiled ultimatum to the UK, saying Brussels will not drop its demands for a level playing field with fair competition clauses in any agreement. The European Commission negotiating team is continuing negotiations in Brussels this week with David Frost and team, he said. With the European Parliament and all member states, we remain determined, patient and respectful. We want our future cooperation to be open but fair in all areas. Yes, fair from the EU perspective. Fair in that the EU will get all UK fish. Fair in that Brussels wants its courts to rule on how well the UK is obeying EU law, and fair in the EU being able to control UK trade and state aid rules. A lot of one-sided fairness going on there, isn't there? At least our negotiator, Lord David Frost, has remained doggedly robust on UK red lines, as I outlined in yesterday's video. But he's also said that most of any deal is in place, but the real sticking point is the fisheries, and that, he says, is the thing that could cause the whole deal to unravel. But the Express is reporting that an EU insider is claiming that it will soon be too late to do a deal anyway, because of EU bureaucracy and the amount of time taken to get things through the EU Council and EU Parliament. According to the report, the EU diplomat said, "This will be tight. And as the negotiations drag on, we will maybe have to see that we find some creative solution, but that it is too early to discuss that at this stage. First, let's see whether we'll have an agreement, and if there is an agreement, when there'll be an agreement, and then we take it from there." So what would a creative solution entail? Well, for starters, it would only be used to prevent a no-deal scenario. Obviously. So the only creative way forwards, in the EU's eyes, would be to extend the Brexit implementation period, or for its extension to be simulated in some way. So what would we be looking at? The EU would be looking for something that would temporarily keep their fishing vessels at sea around the UK, keep the UK under some form of ECJ jurisdiction for trade and state aid, as well as keeping the Northern Ireland situation in some sort of status quo. And that would mean another 1 or 2 years of transition. But this time with more UK autonomy, except in areas of fishing, state aid, level playing fields and Northern Ireland. Meaning we still would not have left the European Union. This sort of bodge in the name of getting a deal further on down the line must not be allowed to happen, because that sort of delay can only be of benefit to the EU and would therefore be a total sellout. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.